For me, Guyver Dark Hero represents so many good things. I still think to this day it's the best anime Hollywood film made. It's also one of the best sequels to a movie, and in fact it's better than the first film, which is something that rarely happens. Guyver Dark Hero is purely awesome, regardless if you're into Guyver or not. But if you are into Guyver like me, then this film is all you could hope for, especially after the first film. Within the first 5 minutes I can already tell I'm watching a superior movie compared to the first. Every department of the film making has been heightened. Even if you're a complete stranger to the character and universe of Guyver, the intro does a fantastic job of showing you just how deadly the Guyver is and how Sean has to deal with his constant, almost barbaric alter ego. Fed up with the killing and murder, he finds himself pulled towards a mountain area where an archaeological dig is happening. The same images Sean saw in his nightmares are at this place, and he must find out why. He comes to learn that the Kronos Corporation is still very much around and not defeated like he thought from the first film, and they of course still have evil intentions at this dig site. This film only has a handful of main characters, and that's fine, as most people just serve as cannon fodder to either the Guyver or Zoinoids, so you don't need to waste time getting to know them. Sean, who is played by Solid Snake himself, David Hayter. If you're going to one day end up voicing the iconic Snake from the Metal Gear series, then you're going to need a lot of charisma, and Hayter has that in spades. He is great as the lead and Guyver, and like I said at the start, he's a major step up from the guy playing Guyver in the first film. He ends up hooking up with Corey, who is one of the main archaeologists. She kinda starts off as a damsel in distress, but actually starts to put up a bit of a fight midway through the film. Crane actually plays a very good villain. There's one part where he's trying to convince Sean of something, and I was actually buying his words until he got to the end, and then I just burst out laughing thinking, ah well, you suck at me, great delivery. The level of acting in here is leagues above what was in the previous film. It is a 90s movie, so I can't understand if some might find it cheesy. To me it's no less cheesy than the other stuff from the 90s like Power Rangers, etc. Talking of that, while the film would certainly give off a Power Rangers vibe, I would say this is not a film for little kids, as there's some gruesome parts like people's body parts being crushed and flying off. If you know the source material, then you'd understand that's part of Guyver. It certainly has a little bit of horror to it. That Guyver theme music though, so damn catchy, I absolutely adore it. So fitting for the Guyver's persona. It's heroic, powerful music that when it comes on, you just know the Guyver is coming to save the day and mess someone up. The music was by Les Claypool III. He did a marvellous job on the entire soundtrack. I wish I could buy the music, it's that good. Again, especially the main Guyver theme, that's not music you forget. I wish Steve Wang would have worked on more films, or even just one more, especially another Guyver film. It's just he's clearly a very talented guy, having worked on movies like Predator and Nightmare on Elm Street, to one Kamen Rider series, and then Guyver and Drive being his own projects. And no, I'm not talking about the stuntman movie Drive, starring Ryan Gosling, no. I'm talking about the action classic starring Mark Dacascos. I'm sure those of you versed in kung fu action movies know exactly what I'm talking about, and if you don't, then do yourself a favour and watch that film, you'll thank me later. Steve Wang knows how to make an entertaining action movie. He very much inspires me as a creative person. It's a pity he hasn't done more, but I'm glad for what we have. When it comes to using special effects, I think it's best to know when to use the right one and the right amount. I'm talking about CGI and practical effects. The original Jurassic Park is the perfect movie at doing this, mixing and blending both so well and not overusing one or the other. I feel like modern filmmaking has gotten sloppy and cheap, like using crappy CGI blood and just pretty much using CGI for everything. I'm bringing this all up because I think Steve Wang really did this movie justice by not going all CGI. He uses CGI shots when it's more appropriate, like a few transformations and something that happens near the end of the movie. That also brings me onto the stunt work in here. There's no green screen here. These stuntmen and women are really flying into cars and trees, etc. Their paying just to bring us real action for entertainment must be applauded. Doing this allows the action and fight scenes to have a real intensity about them that you wouldn't get otherwise. It's the same reason why you can go back and watch a Jackie Chan classic film and still be amazed at the action scenes. This is the same reason Dark Hero's action scenes still hold up. The fight choreography is another cherry on top of the movie. Fight scenes are probably one of the most difficult things to film. I've seen so many films that fail at this, but when you get one and a director that knows exactly how to do it, you're in for a treat. And like I said, Steve Wang is damn good at that. The fights are easy to follow with great camera angles and shots that are used at the right moments. I must commend the martial artists fighting in these suits. To pull off the moves they're doing while wearing suits must have been very difficult, so props to them. The last fight scene has to be one of the most satisfying last battles I've seen. I guess this is where the Guyver fan in me takes over, but if you pictured an anime to live action fight scene, then this would be it. The music, the martial art moves, the sound effects, the location and camera work, it's a combination of utter sheer awesomeness. This film also highly respects the Guyver source material. Yes, it changed a few things, but it still managed to keep the core components in there that will put a smile on any Guyver fan's face. For me, it's the same reason why the MCU movies have been so successful. They're not direct copies of their comic book counterparts, but they still keep enough to keep comic fans happy and split the rest with enough to interest non-fans, and then in the end you have a great movie that all different types of people can enjoy. Again, this is exactly what Guyver Dark Hero does. It doesn't matter what side you fall on, it's just a good captivating film for all to enjoy. The practical effects here are stunning. What Steve Wang and his creative team did bringing these Zoanoids to life is amazing. So much detail in every single little part, they look so believable, no CGI could match these. Then we have the Guyver unit itself. I mean wow, if you could picture what the Guyver would look like in real life after watching the anime or reading the manga, then this would be it right here. Again, I have to commend the craftsmanship here. They could have easily cheaped out, but they really put a lot of love and attention into the creature designs. The same could be said of the set design, albeit the film mostly takes place in one location, but the workings of the inner ship you see later in the film are again exceptional. It truly looks like it's from another planet. Guyver Dark Hero is almost a 2-hour film, but you wouldn't notice it. The time flies by, and that is a good sign of an entertaining movie. It's a shame as a whole the Guyver franchise has pretty much fallen off the map, and very few people even know what it is these days. So much anime has come out since the early 90s that I guess it shouldn't be a surprise. It's just the Guyver is one of the main things that got me into anime in the first place, so it will always be special to me. I would love for it to come back. We are after all in a time of heroes, and I think a modern day film made in the same vein as something like the first Blade movie or Deadpool without the third person jokes could be a great way to bring the Guyver back. Whatever happens, I'll always have Dark Hero, and that's fine with me. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.